Businesses never grow in a straight line. We'd always love, I think as business owners, you always want them to just keep growing. And of course, you get to a point where they start to level out. In your journey and looking back, was there points where you started to level out and then you had to make some key strategic decisions whether to invest in a new product or drive or divert to a new model or a new manufacturer? In those points, when those inflection points, did you go to debt? How did you restructure to get to that next level of growth?
We had a difficult time around 2009. I think there was a bit of a recession on at the time, and also we had a fire. We were in a row of 8 industrial units. We were in number 8. The company still is in number 8, and there was an industrial company making polyurethane suspension bushes in units 6 and 7, and they had a fire during the night, a chemical fire as well, and it burnt through into our unit, and we had to move out into temporary premises and recover what we could. The insurance company regarded it as a total loss claim, and they paid out the full value of our insurance. So that was extremely disruptive. So that was the only point in the business where we went to zero. If you said we never lost money.
Yeah.
But at that point, we went to not making any money. And that also caused quite a lot of stress to the partners, not least because the polyurethane bush company was owned by one of my business partners. So, so he had a lot on his plate because his buildings were completely wrecked, whereas we only lost our upper floor. So both companies needed all hands to the deck, if you see what I mean. So it was around that time that we went from 3 partners to 2 partners. That was probably the toughest time in the business. And then it took us a while to dig ourselves back out of that, get back into our premises and get productive again. The staff were really great. If you haven't been through a fire, you can see pictures on TV, but if you haven't been through a fire, you don't actually know what it does. And I mean, this is a pretty good fire because there were some serious chemicals next door, but the soot and the smoke damage that you get, we had some servers in there, and the hard drives, although they weren't burnt, the smoke had passed through the room, and the particles in the smoke had gone into the hard drives, and the drives only lasted 2 days before they stopped working. So we lost some of the data, but we managed to recover about 99% of what we had. We had loads of engine management units that we'd acquired from around the world. They're really hard to get hold of, and for us to test our software, we had all sorts of engine management units, and we bought an ultrasonic cleaner, and we were having to take apart every engine management unit we had and put them through an ultrasonic bath to clean the soot off them, put them back together, dry them out, put them back together so that we could reuse them. So all work on coding and everything else stopped, and we had engineers on a lot of money, and they were there with a scrubbing brush brushing soot off circuit boards.
Wow.
Just to get us back in the game. It was pretty tough for a while.